So, Lauren, I wanted to get you here today. Obviously, we've had a lot of conversations about relationships, what you do as a matchmaker, what I do as a therapist and as a coach. There's a lot of crossover.
There is.
Now, your background, you've also studied psychology and human behaviour.
Yes, well, straight from school, I went to university and I studied psychology with social science. That was a bachelor degree. And then I didn't want to become a psychologist, but I knew I wanted to help people. So I went on to study natural medicine, holistic health, holistic coaching, and one component in that course, well, there was lots. There was kinesiology, acupuncture, all the different modalities, but relationship counselling. And that really surprises me now that as an 18-year-old or 20-year-old that came up for me.
It's so interesting, and I see this all the time with people. It's like things happen in different chapters of our lives, but each chapter, each season actually leads us to where we are today.
And in retrospect, who knew that I would become a matchmaker? That just shocks me. So I do feel like it was meant to be.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the Lotus Collective and what I'm doing with the Lotus Collective. I feel like this is what I was meant to do. It's a great feeling.
It's the best because it doesn't feel like work then.
No. Ease.
It's just a hobby and interest that creates an income, which is unbelievable.
In Japanese, they have this saying called ikigai. So your ikigai is essentially when you have something that you love to do, something that you're good at, something that makes a difference in the world, and something that you can derive an income from. And that sweet spot is your ikigai.
I love that.
So we found our ikigais.
Yes. I honestly feel so blessed that this has come about.
But you manifested, you actually made it happen. So I'm curious, in your role as a matchmaker and all that you know about people, what do you notice about the person's relationship that they have with themselves and how that shows up in their relationships with other people? You know, I notice, like what I see, people, like I'll have men come to me and say that they're feeling disconnected from their partners. And quite often what it comes back to is actually a disconnection with themselves.
That's right. I feel that our inner world presents in our outer world. So I always say to myself when I've gone through different things, like, am I home within myself right now, and what's that bringing to me? And it sounds a bit cliche and a bit wishy-washy, but I feel that when I abandon myself, I get results that I don't really want. So when you're true to yourself and you are manifesting exactly what you want, the way you want it, then really good things can happen. And I have abandoned myself in lots of situations, and now I can look back why I was in that situation. And that means to me a lack of self-compassion, not setting boundaries, over-giving to the wrong people, and not loving myself. And I think that's a combination of how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat others. And I think that's a huge thing in dating now, is that a lot of people hurt people are hurting people, and so that's why online is kind of making me so busy. And
like attracts like, right? You attract into your world what you're giving out.
100%, and people don't realise that, and say a lot of people are saying, I'm open-minded and I really love myself. Like, I even said that all those decades after psychology and living and being married and being divorced, I thought I loved myself. But then I was criticised for loving myself. And then you need to actually have self-compassion. And only when I learnt that word, as opposed to loving myself, because loving yourself can sound narcissistic. It can sound up yourself. It can sound vain. And I don't want to be those things. I want to appreciate who I am at this moment. And if I don't love myself, who actually will?
Yeah, I think you have to be the best friend to yourself before you can actually be truly in a relationship, in a friendship, any sort of relationship with anybody else.
You can't add value to another human unless you're adding and fueling yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really believe that, and I had to actually live it to understand it, because no textbook and no lecturer could have taught me that. It's experience.
I think self-compassion, have you heard of a woman by the name of Kristen Neff?
I sure have.
Okay,
I refer I talk to people all day long about her.
Yeah, I love her work.
I don't know, did we talk about this? I think
Probably
I
have,
love
because it's one of
her.
my. Have you read the book Fierce Self-Compassion?
I'm just all about. She has taught me so much.
I often will have women complete the self-compassion checklist to see where they're at the start of our work and how that's progressed. Because you're right, that is key. Having that, showing up for ourselves. You know, we want all of these things in a relationship. We want trust in relationship. We want somebody that sees us, that is compassionate towards us. But we need to start.
I say this to everyone the same. We're saying the same thing. Is like if you're for a relationship to strive and thrive, I believe in trust and respect. They are thrown around like, what do they actually mean? No one even knows what they're talking about. So I just think to myself, do I trust my intuition? Do I trust myself? And am I respecting myself? Am I doing things that my children would be proud of? Or am I holding a high standard? Because I can't demand that in any relation, not a friendship with a girlfriend, not my mother. Like, what is trust and respect? And as a partner, I understand it now, and I didn't. So it's been a great learning. And Kristen has taught me a lot.
I like what you said about how your inner world needs to align with your outer world. And I often say that if the inner world is not aligned, if that system is not working, eventually, I mean, you can go and do what you do on the outside, but eventually it's going to start to show through the cracks, right? Once you get through the honeymoon stage of a relationship, it will come through the cracks.
It presents itself in such different ways, doesn't it? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. You can't pretend.
No. Well, you can for a certain amount of time, you know, that whole, but you have to be it, right? You have to embody it. So that takes me to my next question. How do you know, what are the signs that you can spot when you meet someone that tells you they've done the deep inner work on their relationship with themselves?
They just exude a calm confidence. They have intention with dating. Their actions match their words. The way they even talk, text, and approach me. I watch behaviour. I watch people, how they treat other people when I'm meeting a client, how they speak to the waitress. You know, there's so many telltale signs, and someone that's done the work doesn't shout it from the rooftop. It's just visible. And I love watching people. That's why I think I studied human behaviour, because I didn't know what I was going to do. And psychology, like learning about human behaviour, and I'm so perceptive. Sometimes I say to my mum, I wish I was less aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can tell pretty quickly. Even when I meet someone for an initial consult, like I know if I've got a partner for them straight away. Like my intuition is so strong, and I feel very perceptive. It can work as a bonus, and it can work to my detriment.
So my girlfriend is in this movie. It's an old movie called Water. And Lisa Ray is my girlfriend that stars in this movie, and she has had cancer, and she's being sent off to live in a convent of sorts in India. And the man that's sitting next to her in the car as they're going towards this, you know, this convent, says to her, you know, it must be hard. And she says, well, no, I heard this saying, be like a lotus and rise to the top, despite the filthy water that you grow in. The mud, right? Yeah. And that's what it takes, right? To go through all of the struggles. Well, we can't choose necessarily the world that we live in, but we can still rise despite it. And I'm curious what you have seen in people that are like that lotus rising.
Well, it's a choice for people, and you know, to put in the hard work and to heal, and it's very confronting, and some people shy away of it and use other ways to escape. I commend people that look in the mirror, and I'm so proud of clients that
actually do that, like actually look and not blame, not deflect.
It's just like adversity leads to growth, and if you're open to evolving, it's just a great life, because you can't keep finger pointing and you can't keep blaming, and it really is about you and what you want from this world. The muddy water, there's no one in this world that doesn't go through muddy water. I can try and escape it as much as I want, or tell people, or tell my children, but you know, the rain will come and then the sun will shine again. It's so simple. Like, you're going to be bored one day and then you're going to have fun. No one day is the same, and it's the way you cope. It's your don't use defense mechanisms, use coping mechanisms. We have to learn to cope with whatever we're dealt with, and rise, and as queens that we are, fix our crown, brush ourselves off, and keep going. That's I really do believe that, because I can have really bad days. I can. We all do. But you got to push on. Because life is precious.
I think it's hard for this younger generation coming through, and I look at some of these movies that they put out there that paint this unrealistic picture of what a relationship is all about.
We grew up with Princess.
Oh my gosh!
We grew up with fairy tales.
Like Princess Diana was, we grew up with that, right?
And stunning.
Yeah,
still an icon.
But I think of the work of Esther Perel, where she talks about in relationships that ruptures are inevitable in any long-term relationship, right? You are going to have ruptures. You are going to have disagreements, but
big ones,
right? But the power is in how you repair. And I don't know about your upbringing, but I was taught as a woman, to avoid those hard conversations. When you have a rupture, we go into over-fixing, over-compensating, trying to skirt around the issue rather than lean into the issue. We haven't been taught how to repair, how to lean into conflict resolution. How to lead in to those hard conversations.
And especially for people that are not familiar with that, and introverted and scared of the outcome in case I lose my partner. I have to say, I was not brought up like that. My mum is a survivor, a really strong woman, and she did a lot of self-help, and she went through a horrible divorce. So I was brought up by a single mum that was incredibly strong. So I'm not sure, but I have a voice, and sometimes it can be too much. So with my partner, he's so securely attached, and so we just day by day, navigate it. I have been with partners that are anxiously attached. It depends on your style and how you're going to make it work, because it takes compromise, communication, daily care, and comprehension. So you can do those hard conversations, but how is that person comprehending it? Do they feel attacked? Do they shut down? You need to find someone that really sits in it and comprehends the conversation. Otherwise, it will keep coming back. Like cracks, they come back in relationships.
And it's leaning into those conversations from a place of not needing to be right, to prove yourself right, but really curiosity, that I want to know you better. I want to understand you better.
And I want to fix it so that we can continue rather than give up, because a lot of people are giving up. And it's not an option to give up. If you're committed to someone, I really believe in marriage. I'm old school. I would never have got divorced. I would never have given up. I would have made things better any which way. And this generation, unfortunately, just feels that they can swipe on and dispose of people, and there's an unemotional attachments. It's just not working, because you have to commit. I speak to married couples that have been married 40 years, and I just love asking them questions. How bad was it? Did you ever try and leave? What made you stay? Like, I'm so curious, because I think I want to go back to that. I don't believe that there's someone, like that something is forever, but at least give it a good try.
Do you know something that comes up as you're speaking? I had my supervisor told me this story many years ago of a couple that came into her office. They were in their 90s, and the husband asked for a divorce. And the wife was furious, and she said, I've put up with your rubbish for my whole life so that I wouldn't die alone. And he said, I've put up with you for my entire adult life, and enough is enough. I want to be happy in my final days. And I heard this story and I thought, how sad. How sad
That no one spoke up.
That no one spoke up, that nobody leaned in and had those hard conversations.
Because it was too little too late. And they were probably scared at the time, but they've made it worse for themselves.
Yeah.
It's a ripple effect. It's like now it gets to a hatred or a resentment. Like as soon as something happens, just bring it up kindly, gently, see how it goes from there.
Yeah. But we need to learn how to do that. You and I can have those conversations, but
A lot of people can't.
if the other party that we're having the conversation with is not prepared to come to the table,
They're avoidant or
they're
fearful, dissociated. There's lots of things that people don't even know they are. So you've got to recognise who you are. You've got to know what you bring to the table and how you're going, and then recognise the other person and come together. It's a team. You know, I was a matchmaker for a long time. Now I'm part of a team. We have to consider other people. I like being part of a team. I like being married. That's my personality. Some people are happy just doing their own thing. Everyone's different.
I love that. Well, thank you, Lauren. It's been lovely sitting down and chatting with you as always.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
We always say we could talk all day.
we could. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.